Morning, everyone. This is Dr. Yan. I will talk about Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine this year. Why? It is very closely related to your immune system, and we deal a lot with using radiation to change or use the immune system in battling cancer. So let's start.
Your immune system is a superhero, powerful, unpredictable, and occasionally chaotic. It saves you from viruses but can accidentally put a hole through your own organs. This year's Nobel Prize isn't about the hero, it's about the unsung babysitters that keep the whole operation from going feral. I'll show you how they work, and I'll explain how cancer radiation can either crank that hero up to 11 or accidentally call in the party police to shut down the fight.
What's the big deal? T cells are your special forces. They carry millions of unique keycards, great for catching millions of unique viruses. The problem? Randomness means some of those keys also fit your own front door. The textbook fix is the thymus. It's the army boot camp that deletes most of those self-reactive cells. That's central tolerance, but it misses a few. Out in the body, we have peripheral tolerance, and that's where the Nobel winners step in. We're talking about regulatory T cells, or Tregs. They're the calm, clipboard-holding security guards who de-escalate fights before the friendly fire starts. They are your immune system's built-in insurance policy. The Nobel story in 90 seconds. The story is short, elegant, and revolutionary. 1995. Dr. Shimon Sakaguchi spots a special squad, CD4 plus CD25 plus T cells. These were the first spotted Tregs. He showed that if you take them away, the immune system goes feral, destroying the body. Add them back, and order returns. Huge clue. 2001, Mary Brunkow and Fred Ramsdell solved the mystery of the scurfy mouse. A mouse with lethal autoimmunity caused by a single broken gene on the X chromosome, FOXP3. Boys with the human equivalent IPEX syndrome have that same broken gene. 2003, the link is made. Turn on FOXP3, you make Tregs. Lose it, Tregs vanish, and autoimmunity explodes. That's why these three just won the Nobel. They explained the master circuit breaker that stops your immune system from burning down the house. What Tregs actually do. How do these T cells keep the peace? They have a few clever moves. Move 1, the talk down. They use direct contact signals, cell-to-cell chat, to calm down hotheads like effector T cells. Move 2, the peace treaty. They release peacekeeping cytokines like interleukin-10 and transforming growth factor beta to suppress inflammation. Move 3, fuel theft. They act like a sponge and soak up all the IL-2, which is the vital growth fuel other T cells need to ramp up a massive attack. The net effect is less friendly fire. In autoimmunity and transplant, that's a win. But in cancer, too many Tregs feels like the bouncers ejecting your best fighters before they can take out the enemy. Tregs and immune-related diseases. This is where the Nobel logic walks straight into the clinic. Too few or faulty T cells means autoimmunity. Think type 1 diabetes, MS, and severe psoriasis. Flare-ups track a skewed Treg to effector balance. Too many or misdirected Tregs means immune escape. This is cancer smuggling in Tregs to muzzle your CD8 killer cells. It also happens in chronic infections like hepatitis B, where overtolerance lets bad actors linger. In transplants, Tregs are the key to peace. Boosting them can prevent rejection. And finally, in cancer, when we release the brakes with PD-1 or CTLA-4 blockers, that Treg restraint drops, which is why we get powerful anti-tumor action, but also those horrible immune side effects. The Nobel logic explains both the power and the side effects of modern immunotherapy. Radiation isn't just beams, it's an immune remix. We used to talk only about DNA breaks. True, double-strand breaks kill tumor cells. But here's the game changer. Radiation reprograms the entire tumor environment. The DNA damage rings alarms. Dendritic cells level up and present antigens. The tumor's ID badge, its MHC1, gets cranked up. And most importantly, your CD8 killer cells flood in with all their weapons. That's the banger, but the tumor fights back. Remember, Tregs prevent autoimmunity, but in cancer, they are often unproductive, turning down the anti-tumor heat. After radiation, the data are mixed, but many models show a surge of Tregs in the tumor: melanoma, prostate, glioma. And many clinical studies report rising circulating Tregs after chemoradiation. Translation: post-RT, the Treg to CD8 balance and the timing are everything. Our job is to protect that good immunity, limit the unhelpful Tregs, and pair the radiation with drugs that relieve suppression locally without wrecking your whole immune system. Why this matters now. The Nobel has swung clinical doors wide open in autoimmunity and transplants. We are now carefully expanding a patient's own T-cell regulatory cells outside the body and reinfusing them. Or we're nudging them in vivo with low-dose drugs like IL-2 analogs. Early trials show promise in skin disease and type 1 diabetes. Precision Tregs. The future is engineering CAR Tregs to home only to a graft or inflamed organ. This is about dialing down the right inflammation in the right place. Oncology twist. Since tumors recruit Tregs as a protective shield, we are developing new antibodies to CCR8, a marker enriched on those bad tumor-associated Tregs, to peel back the shield and unleash the killer T-cells. Practical oncology, how we stack the deck. So what do we do right now? We stack the deck. 1. Design the beam. We use smart fields, IMRT protons, to spare lymphoid tissues. We protect the army while attacking the castle. 2. Choose the beat. The timing of radiation matters. SBRT/SFRT can be very immunogenic, but the choice of fractionation changes the whole immune mixtape. 3. Pick the partner. We pair radiation with PD-1/CTLA, 4 blockers at the right time to prevent T-cell exhaustion, and we are exploring those new tumor Treg-biased strategies, so you disarm the local brakes, not the ones guarding your pancreas. Why the Nobel matters to patients. The Nobel gives us a clean mental model. Tregs are the brakes. In autoimmunity and transplant, we add brakes. We expand the Tregs. In cancer, especially around radiation, we release the brakes in the tumor, but not system-wide. That's how we keep responses strong and toxicities sane. Clinic pearls. Think beyond gray. You have to design the radiation for the immune outcome you want, and then pair it with the right immunotherapy at the right time. That is how local beams create systemic wins. Meet the laureates. Cells, Gene, and Master Switch. Tregs by Sakaguchi, FOXP3 by Brunkow and Ramsdell, and the link that made peripheral tolerance click. Elegant science, huge clinical ripple effects. Want Part 2, where we rank specific fractionation schemes by their immune impact and map the clinical trials you can join? Comment Treg below, like, subscribe, and share this with that friend who still thinks radiation just burns things. We know better now.